You had to get your words out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Too funny. All right, guys. Well, we hope those things brought a smile to your face today. Do, 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 do,
Dance
do,
with us.
do, bum, 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 bum,
I'll be
bum.
dancing that
Dun,
tug.
dun, 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 dun. Sorry, now I got this
Do you know
in
what
my
my
head.
favorite song is?
What?
Low, 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 low. And now they use it for Smith's ads. I hate
Oh,
the Smith's ads, but I love that song.
that is a great song. All right. All right. Okay. Thing number 2. 222. Peace. There we go.
Who's that? Remember?
Who's that? I don't know.
Richard Nixon.
Oh, see, I was a baby.
Whatever. Here we go again. Move on.
Who is that? I think I've read about him in my history books.
Go on. Do your thing.
All right. Oh, too fun. All right. Well, who's one of the funniest for sure?
What? Where are you reading?
Oh, right there. Someone said someone's the funniest. There we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Kim Yanko said she's going to be singing that while she cooks dinner.
All right.
Just
Just be careful.
Okay.
This Kyle's shirt says,
Sharon
best grandma ever.
Ever. Is
My
what her shirt
grandkids
says.
agree. That's
I
all that
know.
matters.
That's all that matters. That's awesome. That's the best. I love it.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Thing number 2. We are finishing, well, Thursday. We have one more day. But this week has been back to school week.
Oh, yeah.
Back to school week. And so we have had a different kind of theme going on. Every day for back to school week. And so you can't talk about back to school week without talking about apples, right?
Absolutely.
We got to talk apples.
Apples.
So
to
we are
apples.
talking apples
You ever
today.
played that game?
Yes, that is a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So let's show them, Kyle, what we're going to be showing today.
Okay, this one?
Yeah.
I love this,
So-
and mine is done.
Yeah, even
Yay.
better.
This
There we
is
go.
so darn cute.
So fun,
Look at
right?
How fun that is.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
And you can get
So-
it done very
And you
quickly.
can do it too.
Yeah.
We're going to share with you today how to do this.
So much
And
fun.
this is one of our girlfriend exclusive patterns.
Mhm.
And we did a pillow of the month. How 2 years ago?
At least
I
2
think?
years
That
ago.
was one of our
Mhm.
monthly
I did
themes.
every one of them. I have them all done.
Do you really?
I displayed them
Impressive.
at our London
Impressive.
celebration.
That's impressive. I love it.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. It is red, Sharon. It is red. It's a red apple. So
What color does it come across as?
maybe orange.
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 It's red.
It's red. Red apple.
Yeah, with a cute stem and leaf.
I know. I love it. So this is basically done 2.5 inch, squares. Scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great way to use your fabric scraps, right?
Mhm.
And Sharon says we should do pillow of the month again. We
I
should.
think
We
I agree.
could. We
I
totally
agree.
could.
Just put them out again.
And so you could do it with just piecing normal, right? But you could also do it using the easy piecing grid. And so we have
I
another.
testify it's great. I love it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Amen. Okay.
Amen. Oh, you high-fiving me
There you
because I'm so awesome?
Sure.
You're not going to ask me to do this again, are you?
All right. So here is a part of one that Jenny's been working on. Isn't that cute?
Mhm.
And this
darling.
one was done on the easy piecing grid, and the pillow was not done on the easy piecing grid. Yes, this is the 10 sister grid, Sue, that you could use it on. So here, if you see the back,
Is this the two?
this is the interfacing that you could use. This ends up being probably this looks like the 1.5 inch is my guess. You could do it any size
Mhm.
you wanted though. Okay, so this is part of it. But look how scrappy this is. So much
I
fun.
love it. I love how scrappy
So-
it is.
We're going to talk to you today about, and I know that we've shared this before, So it's a good reminder of how it's done. And if you have any questions, you can let us know. But we are going to be talking about easy piecing grid, which is the 10 Sisters grid, right?
Yes.
So a lot of you are probably now familiar with this. We talk about it quite often, but it comes in a 2-inch finish size, 1.5, 1 inch, and even down to a 1/2 inch
I'm out on
finished
that one.
size. It's
I'm
crazy, right? You're out.
Remember when we did that little tiny
Yes, we did. And the 1/2 inch actually makes really cute pin cushions.
Really darling.
Or darling, like Christmas ornaments.
And it looks like really cute scraps when you cut it all up because you're so irritated.
So you can see that there's, it's printed, and let's see if I can pull this around. Okay, so you see the grid lines on here, and there's a bumpy side, which is the fusible, and then there's the smooth side. So how is this done? Oh, it looks like we're having some issues with the internet again.
We are?
Oh, snap. I don't know. What we found out from the other day when we were having issues with the internet was that afterwards, everyone was able to view it after and not live. And then there were no issues. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the rain.
It's harder
I
to
don't know.
answer their questions.
Alice said the computer's fine for her. No issues here. I don't know.
Not here.
Okay,
Just
so
fine.
hang tight if your internet's having problems, and
Don't worry, I
hopefully it'll
won't
clear
fix
up.
it.
That's right. And okay, a lot of you are saying it's just fine where
Okay,
you're
good.
at. So
Good.
I apologize if it's not going well. Watch afterwards, and it will be good.
And we should be able to answer most all the questions.
Oh, definitely.
Chris is an expert at this now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. All right. So I have a little sample here that has the grid on it. Okay, you can see how these are. Now, this ends up being a 2-inch finished grid. Or yes, 2-inch finished grid. But if I were to take out a ruler, this box actually measures to 2.5.
Why is that?
The reason for that is because we are going to sew those seams, and now by using a 1/4 inch on both sides, it's now going to become 2-inch. So you have to start out with 2.5 inch cut pieces. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you have the bumpy side face up, and it's like just having fun with your scraps. So you're going to cut your scraps. This one's a little bit, let's see if I can get a different size going on here. Well, I probably grabbed too big of a size. That's okay. You're going to cut your cut pieces to 2.5 inches, and you'll just place them all along here. Okay, and you can have all different sizes, all different prints, I should say, and you're placing them in each part of the grid. I'm going to take those off because I know that these are all too small. Okay, hold on. Nope. Okay, no worries. Let me show you this one instead. Okay, so this is where we had put all of the little pieces on, all of the little squares. Now, what you will notice is that in between your squares, it doesn't actually quite line up. All right, and that is good. We do not want them to touch. We want a little space right here. Okay, we want that. So when you see this, I don't want you to think, oh no, I've messed up. I'm doing something wrong. Nope. You did not do anything wrong. You want that space there. And the reason for that is because when we fuse this all on, it's like putting together a puzzle, and we're putting our squares on, and we fuse it on with an iron. Instead of having to sew individual pieces, all you have to do is you turn it down, and you are sewing an entire row all at once. And that's why it's important to have the space in between. You know what also that means? This also means that you don't have to be absolutely 100% precise. Oh, thanks, Kyle. Kyle grabbed me some 2.5-inch pieces. This works better.
Yeah.
This means you do not have to be absolutely 100% precise in your cutting. Isn't that cool? As long as you center that, and you'll see right here that, see, there's a little space in between. That's what you want. And you're just going to fill out this grid like that. And then you'll fold it down.
Because that's already ironed on, right?
Exactly. It's already ironed on. And then you're just going to take it to your sewing machine and go zoop.
It's so awesome. I love it.
And so you're doing long pieces at a time. So let's take a look at this one where we had folded this down and we stitched all the way going down there. And then we take the next one and we fold it down and we stitch all the way down here. So you continue that pattern all the way, vertical or horizontal, doesn't matter. And then you're going to get something that looks like this. Now, it looks really good right here, but what about the crosswise? Okay, no problem. What you want to do is you're now going to fold it the opposite direction. And before you stitch it, you need to do one more thing. We're going to pretend that these are my scissors.
And you want to.
Yes, you definitely want to. And you're going to cut at each intersection going into the seam allowance. I know that seems a little counterintuitive. You're like, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you
Kris,
talking
wild
about?
And crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me when I say you are cutting into the seam allowance. All right, just at each of the corners. The reason why you want to do that is because one seam is going to go one direction and the opposite seam is going to go the other direction.
Just makes them lace so nice.
Exactly. And now these seams are nestled up. You could take a pin, but you don't have to. In fact, I would say don't even pin it, because guess what? When you take it to the sewing machine, now you're going to sew all the way down this other way. This seam is going one direction. The opposite seam is going the opposite direction. And these things just bud right into each other.
That's what makes them
and
so
they're
perfect.
Not going anywhere. And your corners will be absolutely perfect. Perfection. Those corners are going to be perfect. And so you are sewing all down here, and then you go to the next row and you sew all down here. Now, this is just a 9 patch. Take a look at this one. This one's finished.
Corners.
Look, yeah, check out those corners, folks. Those are absolutely perfect. And you can see on the back. Now, the interfacing does stay in, so it's a little bit heavier, but not much. And it was just so much fun to do. And you have one row going in one direction, the opposite row going in the next direction. Now, the fun thing also about Easy Piecing Grid is that you can actually create your own patterns if you wanted to as well. So it's kind of like Minecraft, I like to say. Have you ever done Minecraft?
No.
Well, you know what? The kids, ask your grandkids, Kyle.
Yeah, I know they would love it.
They would love it because Minecraft is basically squares, right? If you were to take a picture and just pixelate it, you would be able to create your own pattern. Now, the other thing is, and you'll see this on like this pillow, you'll notice that we have a half square triangle right here, right? So some people go, wait, how do you do a half square triangle on the Easy Piecing Grid? Well, it's actually really easy to do. You are going to make your half square triangles beforehand. All right, so you're just going to cut them larger, do your sewing down the center, right, on the diagonal of each side of the center line. Okay, just like we normally do half square triangles. Same thing.
It just has to end up at
It just has to end up being at 2.5 inches because this is a 2.5 inch grid, right? If you're going to use the 1 inch grid, you're going to do it to 1 inch, right? So you're going to make your half square triangles, and then you still do the same thing where you place them on there and you fuse it on. Now, this is not a 2.5 inch half square triangle, but if it were, it would take up a lot more of the space. And then you're just fusing all of that on. So let's pretend that we've got that happening right here. Okay, and we're just putting all of these on, and maybe you have some background blocks, right? Okay, I'm just playing around with this. But you piece it all, well, I should say you fuse it all together. And you're fusing them in panels. So you just take it over to your ironing board and you just press it on. And then you go so, and you just fold it down, zip, fold it down, zip, and there you go. And again, this is the smaller version, but you would get something like this. And you can make these items as big as you want. So that is basically in a nutshell how it goes. So now that you know that little bit of background here, let's take a look one more time at this is Jenny's that she's been working on. And again, notice how scrappy it is.
That is the beginning of a...
That's the beginning of a new, oh, it's right over here. That's the beginning of a new section, right? And we were looking at this earlier and we said, oh, I wonder what that little
mark down there
mark is here. Well, guess what? That's the stem for the next apple that's going to be going down underneath here. So this is one panel. All right. So there you have it. If you wanted to do the apple pillow in that way, now we did the apple pillow without the easy piecing grid.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have it, but if you wanted to do it, this ends up being 2-inch finished squares. So you'd want the 2-inch finished grid. All right. And then you've got your half square triangles.
Pay attention to what the finish is.
Yes, exactly. You're paying attention to what the finish is. And it is, Heidi says, oh boy, do I have scraps. Absolutely. Like this is the perfect scrap buster.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Or you can get a kit.
Or you can get a kit. That's right. And that is how simple it is. Now, we have, let's see. We have the pattern of this project right here. You can see, look at that. Look how cute that is.
With a yellow background.
Yep, they did that with a yellow background. So fun. And not as scrappy. You can make this as scrappy or as, non-scrappy as you want. But look how cute that checkerboard border is going all the way around.
Darling.
And then
I would not do that without the easy piecing grid.
No, exactly. And here you go. That one's very, very scrappy. But you can see here that this is one panel. This is the next panel.
That's like what Jenny did. One of those
panels. And then this might be like a half of a panel. So they, how fun is that they put that all together for you?
That is cool.
So now this could be done with using the 2-inch or the 1.5 or the 1 or even the 1/2 inch. That would be really tiny, but it could be done. It could be done. It absolutely could. So, yeah. What questions do you have? Yeah, Sherry, great question. She said, do you sew all the grids together? Yes, after you're done with the grid. So after you're done with one section, so this is also what's fun is because, if you don't have a lot of time, you could just say, I'm just focusing today on this one panel.
Yes.
And be done.
40 minutes of time that I have in the morning. Exactly. I can get a little bit done each morning.
Exactly. And then you can move on to the next panel. And then on another day, you can move on to the next panel. But once all the panels are done, absolutely, then you sew those together. Great question, Sherry.
I like the fact that they do have an apple core in it.
I know, it's so cute. Sherry said it keeps your material from fraying also.
Yes.
Definitely. Yep. Let's see, what else? Patsy said she just found that pattern in a stack of UFO projects. It's not on her list of UFOs to do right now. Oh, yep. Yay.
Good.
Cut
it. In the seam.
You're cutting it in the seam. Yep. So I know it's kind of probably a little bit hard to see on here, but when you have sewn
One way,
then you're going to fold it over and you just cut right into that seam.
If you
Just
fold it the other
right
way, will it
into
show?
there. Oh, yeah, I could do that, I think.
How about if we fold it?
If I fold it this way, maybe you can see a little bit better. See, this is the fold. And then I'm just taking my scissors and I'm cutting right into that intersection.
And it's right after you've sewn the one way?
And it's after you've sewn the one way. Okay. So then that way they fold down in opposite directions and then they butt up right against each other.
And like I tell my kids, try not to cut the seam. But if you do,
it's okay. If you end up cutting the seam, if you go a little bit too far, that's okay. It's very forgiving.
It is wonderful because you're gonna sew it again.
Mm-hmm. Yay. Okay.
I took a long time
for the baby quilts. It took 6 grids. It took you a long time to try it.
I was
Were you
afraid.
Nervous?
I was a little afraid,
but it wasn't too bad, right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Teresa said she struggled putting the panels together and getting those points to match. Any suggestions?
Make sure when you're putting them together, I paid attention because I did one that I had to piece some together. And I did from the left and I made sure this panel, the last one, I cut it and ironed it up. So on the next one, I made sure that ironed down so they could butt in together.
Also butt up against each other. Yeah. You know, another thing you could do is you don't have to cut it, straight off of there, the extra. You could leave a little bit of the interfacing on the side and then you can fuse the next panel on top of this one so that there's a little bit of an overlap.
That's
and then
it
ends up being the same as just having that small little piece in between. And then you can fold it and get it just the same. I think that's
a great idea.
So
because it's not heavy.
No.
You won't even notice.
No. So hopefully that can help as well, Teresa.
And I do a couple, like I did the panel, like they have it divided out in panels. I think that's a great idea. So you're not trying to drag the whole thing across.
Great question, Lisa. She said she missed the beginning. Do you glue the squares on with a glue stick before you fuse it? You can, you don't have to. But one of the things I do to do, I like to take a little glue stick and I just go dab, 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 like nothing major.
So when I carry it over,
I don't have anything flying off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you absolutely could take just a and just stick them on that way. But it's all fusible. But
it does fuse nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But definitely if you're worried about things flying off, you could just do a little glue stick.
Once I lay those all on there, I don't want to lay them on again.
That's right. But it's fun because it feels like it's a
puzzle. I love puzzles.
Yeah.
I love puzzles.
Definitely. So yeah, no problem, Lisa. Any other questions we have? I'm just kind of scrolling through real quick. Susan, for the apple pillow, is the background fabric the same as the sample? I called, but they said to check with you. It is not. We wish it was because we loved this fabric so much. Unfortunately, this fabric is no longer being printed. So what we did for our kits was we did a white on white polka dot.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
cute.
Which will be still darling. So great question. Okay. Oh, good. Marilyn said her grids were just delivered this week, that she had ordered. The apple pillow will be an easy first project. I think I'm going to like this. Definitely.
Yep. Don't start out with a 1/2-inch one.
That's right.
If you want to be in my group?
That's right. No.
Don't do it.
Brenda, great question. Does the glue come off on your iron, the ones between the squares, when you iron? There's a couple of rules of thought here. Okay. 1, you could use a pressing sheet. All right. You could use a pressing sheet and place it over like the Goddess pressing sheet we love to use. And just, it's like a Teflon sheet. You place it over and fuse it. Then you have no chance of it coming off, right? Or you can be lazy like Kris.
Or I got another one.
and don't use a pressing sheet. And you really shouldn't have any problems. And I'll tell you why. Obviously, you don't want to have it close to the area that is showing a lot. But in between these little tiny pieces, because the fabric is sitting up above, if you place your iron on it, it just doesn't even come onto your iron.
We know that from experience.
I know that from experience. So you could, if you wanted to be absolutely safe.
Don't just slam it down there and make it hard.
Yeah, just place it on. Okay. So very, very good. Julie said she found she has to be careful using a purple glue stick and white fabric. Even after it dried, she could see the purple. It was supposed to dry clear. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe, using the purple is not a good idea. So
the purple is the one that when it dries, it turns clear.
It's supposed to be clear. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd start out with
I would start with the clear one. Or just do it very, very light.
Or don't use white
fabric. Don't use white. So Kathy, thank you. She put a link to the Goddess pressing sheet. So yep, if you want one of those, I will say, like I said, when
pressing sheets are wonderful.
I love pressing sheets. But I will definitely use a pressing sheet if I think I'm going to get too close to the outside. I don't want to be
cleaning my iron.
No.
Or my ironing board pad, whatever.
Right. Yep. So, parchment paper as a pressing sheet.
I've never done that.
I don't know, Alice.
I don't know.
Parchment paper.
Check it out.
I don't know.
It's well worth the Goddess pressing sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely say so. Okay. What other questions? It feels like I was going to say something. Oh, Anita asked, do you steam or dry iron? Just a dry iron.
Yeah. I don't want to add water.
Nope.
Am I supposed to?
I don't think so.
I don't.
No, I just do it with an iron. So great questions. All right. Cheryl said she did a Santa face with the grid. How fun is that?
Yeah, Cheryl did.
Yes, I love Cheryl. So, you really can do anything that your imagination takes you.
I figured something out for shop hop with the grid.
Did you?
Just saying.
We are getting
Jenny might have called it something different than what it actually was. Remember?
Oh, yes. That Jenny. Okay. Susan said that parchment paper works great. Awesome. Okay. I've never used it. So
I'm not going to. I'm going to use my pressing sheet.
But this is a good point. With parchment, you can't see through it to make sure the pieces don't move.
Yeah.
So there's the trade-off right there.
Because they could move.
Work. Oh, yeah. Move. So having like the Goddess pressing sheet, you can see through it.
As I go along, I don't do the whole thing. I'm doing sections at a time, pressing them down just to make sure nothing has moved so I can concentrate on where I'm at. So, because sometimes mine move.
Yeah, definitely.
And I make sure it's not on the iron. Make sure that you have your stuff on the right way too. Been there, done
that too.
Iron it right to my ironing board.
Yeah. Oh, if the parchment is clear, then you could do that for sure. Yes, Dorothy said the truck with the tree is really cute. We showed that.
Oh, we did that last
couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
A couple weeks ago in Comment Sold. Yep.
I love that one.
So yeah.
Cute pillows.
All right.
Everybody needs like 7 or 10 pillows on their couch.
Of course.
My husband loves them.
There you go. Oh, you're saying that facetiously, right?
Get all these pillows
off. I accidentally pressed that without introducing that we were going to do the 3 at 3. Cut us off. There we go.
All right. Done.
Done. You guys are done.
All your words.
There you go. Oh,
it is worth getting a pressing sheet because
Yeah.
there's so many times
mhm.
when you're going to go, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
What am I going to do?
yeah.
Because if you
You
get
know-
it on your iron and then you go to press something else.
Okay. I will. Let me take that back. I would highly recommend a pressing sheet.
Well, what did I say?
No,
Yes.
you said
when
it's
you-
worth the pressing sheet.
it
And I
is
said,
well.
okay, it's well worth the pressing sheet.
Because you will
I
use it on
for
other
lots of
projects.
things.
If you're applicating, lots of different things.
hmm
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, I actually do use the pressing sheet for other things besides this.
Mhm.
So,
I couldn't find mine for a while. I'm like, where did it go?
mhm. I use the pressing sheet a lot when I do machine embroidery.
Mhm.
Okay. I also use it when I'm trying to do like applique and I'm overlapping pieces together.
Mhm.
Then I will put something together when I'm I will put it all together as one applique onto a pressing sheet.
Okay. And have you ever had something on your iron and then went to finally press a project that you've done?
Yeah. Okay. Just get the pressing sheet.
Mhm. You don't want to do that when you're at the end of your project and
Exactly.
you get dirt on it
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
from
It's-
your iron
yeah,
when you could
yeah.
have saved that.
No bueno. No. Mm-mm.
Kyl is a genius. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I am.
Here you go.
Could you let some other people here know? Like maybe Mike. Mike at my girlfriend's
He
quilt shop.
knows you're a genius. Are you kidding me? You're his favorite.
Mhm. Mhm.
Judy says she uses the pressing sheet for applique a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. To build your appliques onto a pressing sheet is really nice. Yeah, it's probably safer to use a pressing sheet.
See, let's get what Betty Jo said. See, they're good at salespeople. That's why I have all these things and I forget why. Because
yeah.
it's a good idea. If
That's
you don't
right.
have it and you go to press and you get it on your iron, you're going to be
Mhm.
like, I should have listened to those geniuses.
Genius, pure genius.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Buffalo. We're going to be close to Buffalo, New York.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Isn't Buffalo on the west?
It's in New York. It's not like Utah
But
where it's 7
it's
hours
like-
to go to Salt Lake.
Okay, we're going to be in Syracuse pretty
Mhm.
soon, Pamela.
Mhm.
We should
That's
do a meetup.
Yeah. Let's have lunch. Yeah.
Lunch with K and K.
KK.
All right.
KK.
All right.
Oh,
Too
Kyl.
fun. I couldn't find the stuff to clean my iron. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Get the pressing sheet.
Mhm.
Here we go. All right.
I know about things.
You know these things.
Mhm.
That's
My
right.
mistakes.
Oh my.